Hey everyone! Today is really awesome because it is Oscar Sunday. What better than to do a movie review for Beasts of the Southern Wild, which is nominated for Best Picture as well as some other really cool categories. I had seen this movie as it looked really interesting and heard that it was getting some Oscar buzz, so I was like, definitely check this one out. A really interesting movie that I didn't even think I was going to get into right away because of the way that it was shot, and I know that there has been some complaining. I won't name who, but I know one in particular of mine who complained about this movie. I'm just going to give the lowdown. This movie is set in Louisiana where there's this like little girl lives, her name is Hush Puppy, and she's only 5 years old in the movie. And she's played by this really amazing young actress who is also the youngest to ever be nominated for an Academy Award. And I'm not even going to say her name right, but it's Kivinzani Zane Wallace. And don't hate me if I get the name wrong, I'm sorry. She is basically this really sweet young girl who's living with a father who's just very mean to her, and just living with him, I know, like, it just seems like it's a pain in the ass pretty much, and just what she goes through in her life, she's sort of trying to compensate that by just trying to be this, you know, like, just do what a kid does, like, have this really big, huge imagination, going on adventures. I mean, how cool would that be? I mean, I remember even when I was a kid, I was always doing stuff like that, and just trying to find some way to have fun. What she ends up going through, I find really interesting, how her relationship with her father sort of like transcends throughout the entire movie, like where she like is sort of like this rebellious girl, but she's also just doing it because of how, like, out of retaliation pretty much. Like at one point she like burns the house that she lives in with her dad, and he gets really mad at her, and you just see that, and I'm like, I was just seeing her performance on screen, and I'm basically going to be talking to her because she, like, won the most in this, of course, and with all the Oscar buzz surrounding her. The beast that is mentioned in this movie, it's kind of like it's really interesting. Like, when I first saw the image of like what it's supposed to look like, I was like, this is like some crazy fantasy stuff. I really liked how they made this movie sort of like like the way they shot it. I found it a little bit crazy at times because it was kind of a mix of like a Terrence Malick film and District 9, but with a little bit like elements of fantasy, and just, it was really magical and just really awesome. And I thought it was just really interesting how they combined all of those different elements into one movie and actually made it work. And I guess I would agree with my friend who was complaining about the camera shaking, and I said, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, I can say that it kind of bothered me. I mean, I really hate shaky cameras, but it kind of almost made it look like sort of a documentary style, which is what I was sort of like referring to with District 9, and just like the way that's shot. I mean, I know other movies have done that too, and then the fantasy elements definitely worked in favor of this movie, while it's sort of like trying to be realistic and bringing out all of those really disturbing like family dynamics. And this little girl's just like going on this adventure, and there's like a storm brewing up, and of course, I mean, it's down south, so like stuff's gonna go down, but you just see like the journey like unfold, seeing all that. I mean, it is also kind of sad too. I mean, I wasn't crying or anything while watching this movie, but I mean, it definitely had some really sad parts to it. But overall, I thought Beasts of the Southern Wild was definitely nothing I expected. I don't know if I will see it again, but if I do, I'm sure I will like it the second time. Beasts of the Southern Wild, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of it, and if you think it is deserving of an Oscar nomination. Subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you guys later.